So the Denver Broncos made a major move this offseason. A lot of people call it the biggest trade of the offseason. They finally got their franchise quarterback for the future in Russell Wilson. But the main thing is, will it be enough for this team to go to the playoffs for the first time since Peyton Manning? And also, will they be a Super Bowl contender in the tough AFC? What's up, YouTube? It's All Pro Sports Talk, the home of sports talk. Hit subscribe button if you're new. Also hit the like button. The Denver Broncos have found themselves in a very interesting situation by having some of the best players in all of football on their roster, and a good roster on the defensive side and on the offensive side. They've been hindered by one position and one position fully for years now, since Peyton Manning, and they won a Super Bowl against Carolina Panthers, and that has been the quarterback position. This team has had a plethora of quarterback start since Peyton Manning has left. It's been pretty sad to see. You have had names such as Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, Brock Osweiler, Case Keenum, Joe Flacco, Drew Lock, Brandon Allen, Jeff Driscoll, Brett Rippon, Kendall Hinton, who's not even a quarterback, but he had to come in because they dealt with a pandemic situation a couple years ago. He's a wide receiver, and you also had Teddy Bridgewater. So they've had a lot of quarterbacks on this team, and a lot of those names are just mediocre, just not good enough. But the Denver Broncos have went out there and they got aggressive, and they finally traded for a top quarterback in the NFL in Russell Wilson. Now, you're not getting the same Russell Wilson that you'll be getting from 2015, 2016, but he is still a phenomenal quarterback, and he's something that the Denver Broncos haven't had in quite some time. And it also puts Russell Wilson in an interesting situation. He is finally with a team that can run the football and have a plethora of wide receivers around him. Now, the Denver Broncos did lose a lot of good talent when they traded for Russell Wilson, such as Noah Fant, who I think is going to be a breakout tight end one day. But that's what you have to do in order to get a franchise quarterback. They traded multiple first-round picks in Drew Lock. Basically, Drew Lock was a given in that move. You're going to try to get off of him immediately because he was no good for the Denver Broncos, and I don't think he's a good quarterback in the NFL. But you trade him for Russell Wilson. You look at the talent on this team. I said earlier in the video, I said this team has some of the best talent in all the NFL for years. You have guys like Courtland Sutton, who is a beast, who is a 1,000-yard wide receiver. Jerry Jeudy, who has the potential to be a 1,000-yard wide receiver, who is one of the best route runners in all of football, who continues to be a beast year after year. But the main thing is that the quarterbacks haven't been able to hit him, and he's a very good wide receiver. And then you have two of the best running back tandems in the NFL. This running back tandem is ridiculous with Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams busted on the scene last season, 903 yards rushing, 4 rushing touchdowns. Melvin Ingram, 918 yards and 8 touchdowns. Some running backs didn't even put up that much. Both of these guys went over 900 yards, and they're both splitting carries on this team, which keeps both of these guys fresh and keeps defenses tired as hell. And they were running the football a lot because they had no quarterback competent enough to feed off of play action. You're inserting Russell Wilson into this system when the Daniel Hackett, who I'm going to get with in just a second, but he's going to be the brand new head coach of this team. You're inserting him on this team with weapons galore. Russell Wilson is one of the best veteran quarterbacks in all the NFL. He's going to transform this team immediately. This Denver Broncos team has always had talent, but they've been hindered by the quarterback position, and they've also been hindered by the head coaching. Vic Fangio, amazing defensive head coach, but that's all he could do was just coach the defense, and the defense for the Denver Broncos is not slacking as well. You still have a bunch of talent in this team. You're bringing in Randy Gregory from the Dallas Cowboys, a very good pass rusher on the edge, very good at getting pressure towards the quarterback. Kareem Jackson, amazing safety. He switched from being corner to safety. He looks way better overnight because he was aging a lot at corner, but he's aged like wine at safety. Justin Simmons, one of the best safeties in all the NFL, the free safety position. This kid's a beast. He's a baller in the box, single high safety. He can do it all, you name it. Ronald Darby is a good number 2 corner because you can pair him up with a guy that looked like he was the best corner in all of football for a stretch. And Pat Surtain had a stretch last season to where it was like, this kid is locking up any wide receiver that comes his way. This guy is eventually going to be one of the best corners in the NFL, and he already is. But I'm going to say this. In a couple of years, we're going to be speaking of him like how we were speaking to Jalen Ramsey when he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars as being the best corner in the NFL. He's long, he's lanky, he's athletic, and he has a lot of muscle to him. This guy can lock up receivers such as a Tyreek Hill, and he can stick with guys like Devontae Adams. It's going to be very interesting because this team is in the Wild Wild West. This is a tough division With the Las Vegas Raiders making moves, with trading with Devontae Adams and pairing them up with Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They tailed off by trading Tyreek Hill, but they still have Patrick Mahomes, who a lot of people say is still the best quarterback in the NFL. And you still have Andy Reid there. And the Los Angeles Chargers, they traded for Khalil Mack, picked up J.C. Jackson. So every team in this division has made moves. One team in this division is going to go out sad and miss the playoffs, unfortunately. But regardless of whoever that team is, they're going to be tough as hell to beat. The Denver Broncos had the veteranship on their side with Russell Wilson. He's a proven Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's a beast of a quarterback. The thing is with Russell Wilson, he does get hot and cold, but you want to keep him hot all the way through. And he was getting hot and cold on some bad Seattle Seahawks teams where the offensive line was not up to par. Look at the offensive line for Denver Broncos. It's better than the Seattle Seahawks. Garrett Bowles is a really good tackle. You have Quinn Myers at the right guard position, Lord Kirstenberry at the center position, Dalton Roger at left guard, and Calvin Anderson in the right tackle position. I would like to see Billy Turner come back in there and try to get some snaps in. But this team looks really good on paper, and I think that they will be good. And you have some sleeper wide receivers as well. Kendall Hilton is a good wide receiver. KJ Hamler is a beast of a wide receiver. He doesn't get his credit. So they have guys on this team, and they also have Tim Patrick, who is a very good wide receiver as well. So they have weapons galore there. The thing is, can the defense hold up enough? And can guys like Bradley Chubb go back into being in form? Bradley Chubb looked good his first year in the NFL when he was paired up with Von Miller. Suffered an ankle injury, hasn't been the same since. He has to have that breakout season once again, and he has it in him. He gets a lot of pressure to the quarterback, but he just can't finish those sacks. He can't finish up those cleanup plays. They need that to get to him because he's going to be a top tier pass rusher on this team. That's what they expect out of him. He's a former first round pick. So he has to get some things going. Hopefully Randy Gregory can help get his motor going as well, because Randy Gregory is really good when he's on, but Bradley Chubb has to get consistent and not just stopping the run, but also getting to the quarterback. This team has the talent. They have the guys there. It's just a matter of how will things stack up in the division. And sadly, I do think injuries will play a factor to this division. It just has to, because there's no way that every team in this division is going to make the playoffs. But it's already going to be tough as hell to make the playoffs in this division. Like I said, you got guys like Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr, and insert Russell Wilson. The Denver Broncos have the best chance of getting to the playoffs since Peyton Manning has retired with this team. This team is loaded. They had the veteranship. I think Nathaniel Hackett's going to come over. He's going to help Russell Wilson get better in the system. And remember, the same way that Patrick Mahomes plays with the little improvising system, just scrambling around, Russell Wilson is pretty much the innovator of that in this generation. The guy scrums around all around the pocket and throws these fantastic footballs down the field. Like I said, he's not the same Russell Wilson. Last year, I give him a big pass because he dealt with the hand injury. He had the broken finger. He just didn't look right. But he did look really good when he was healthy on the field. And the year before that, Russell Wilson still looked good. So I think that they have their star. They have their franchise quarterback. I want to hear from you in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Denver Broncos? Is this team going to be a playoff team, or will they fizzle out and just be mediocre again and just have bad luck? If you are new to this channel, baby, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, when each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching my video, guys. Peace.